Hello, beautiful minds. Welcome back to our podcast where we reflect, learn, and grow together. Today, we dive deep into a profound idea that has echoed through time. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Let that sink in for a moment. What you think, you become. It's powerful, isn't it? But how much do we really believe that? How often do we truly acknowledge the power of our thoughts, the silent architects of our reality? So today, grab your favorite cup of tea, find a cozy corner, and let's explore how your thoughts shape your world and how mastering your mindset can transform your life. Part 1: The origin of the quote. Many attribute this quote to the Buddha. While it's hard to trace the exact words, the spirit of this message lies at the core of Buddhist teachings. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. Ancient wisdom understood something that modern science is now proving: our thoughts are not just thoughts. They are blueprints for our future. Our beliefs, attitudes, and inner dialogues silently influence our decisions, behaviors, and ultimately, our destiny. Part 2: The power of thought. Think about it. Every invention, every movement, every piece of art, every change in the world, it all began as a thought. A single idea. A spark in the mind. Your thoughts are seeds. What you plant in your mind over and over begins to grow roots. Eventually, it sprouts into habits, actions, and character. If you think you're not good enough, your actions will start to reflect that belief. If you believe you're capable, you'll act with more confidence. That's the power of thought. It builds your reality from the inside out. Part 3: The neuroscience behind it. Now let's back this up with science. Neuroscience tells us that our brain is neuroplastic, meaning it constantly changes and adapts based on what we think and do. When you repeatedly think a certain way, positive or negative, you strengthen neural pathways. The brain becomes wired to repeat those thoughts automatically. So, if you constantly think, "I can't do this," or "I'm a failure," those thought patterns become your default. But if you train yourself to think, "I can figure this out," or "I'm resilient," you rewire your brain to respond with empowerment. It's not magic. It's biology. Your thoughts influence your chemical responses, your emotions, and even your health. Positive thinking has been linked to lower stress, better immunity, and longer life. Negative thought patterns, on the other hand, can increase anxiety, depression, and even heart disease. Part 4: Self-fulfilling prophecies. Let's talk about self-fulfilling prophecies. Have you ever met someone who said, "I'm always unlucky," and somehow, bad things always seem to happen to them? That's not coincidence. That's the mind reinforcing a belief and finding evidence for it. When we believe something strongly, we unconsciously act in ways that make it come true. That's why it's so important to guard your thoughts. What you believe about yourself becomes your identity. And your identity shapes your choices. Part 5: Inner dialogue, your greatest influence. Let me ask you something. How do you talk to yourself when no one's listening? Are you kind? Encouraging? Or are you your own worst critic? Most of us speak to ourselves in ways we'd never speak to a friend. That harsh, judgmental inner voice chips away at our confidence over time. But here's the truth: you can't become something great if you are constantly telling yourself that you're not enough. The mind believes what you feed it. If you repeat negativity, it becomes your truth. But if you start to speak to yourself with compassion, strength, and clarity, you'll start to become that version of you. Part 6: Stories of Transformation. Let's take a moment to look at real stories. Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty, faced abuse and hardship. But she believed in the power of her voice and her vision. She once said, "You become what you believe." Muhammad Ali repeatedly told the world, "I am the greatest," long before he had ever won a major fight. His belief shaped his reality. What do these stories teach us? That your thoughts don't just influence your future, they can create it. Even in the darkest times, if your mind stays aligned with purpose, resilience, and belief, you can rise. Part 7: How to shape your mind positively. Okay, so we know the mind is powerful. But how do we use that power intentionally? Here are some tools you can start using today. 1. Daily affirmations. Start your morning by affirming who you want to be. I am confident. I am healing. I am focused. Affirm it until your mind believes it. 2. Visualization. Close your eyes and see your best self. Imagine how they walk, talk, solve problems. The brain often can't distinguish between real and imagined experiences. Visualization makes your goals feel familiar, achievable. 3. Journaling. Write down your thoughts. Catch the negative ones before they take over. Challenge them. Replace them. 4. Mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you observe your thoughts without judgment. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. 5. Choose your circle wisely. Surround yourself with people who believe in growth. Negativity is contagious, but so is optimism. Part 8: Becoming what you think. So, back to the quote. What you think, you become. If you think like a leader, you'll lead. If you think like a victim, you'll always feel powerless. If you think with love, kindness, and courage, your life will reflect it. The mind is not a cage. It is a garden. You must decide what to plant. You can plant doubt or you can plant dreams. You can feed fear or feed faith. But make no mistake. You are becoming what you think every single day. Part 9: Final Reflections. Let's end with a moment of reflection. Close your eyes, if you can. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What thoughts will take me there? What beliefs do I need to let go of? You are not stuck. You are not small. You are not powerless. Everything begins with a thought. And right now you have the power to choose a better one. Outro. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If this episode inspired you, take a moment today to pause and reflect on your thoughts. Be kind to your mind. Nurture it. Because what you think, you truly do become. Until next time, stay mindful, stay curious, and remember the power is already within you. This is Jenny, signing off.